So we are going to start our lecture number 4 related to blockchain. So before we continue, let us have review on our previous classes. Okay. So, okay, there are some questions. This is my style to have a review. Let us have interactive session. So, which is not a quality of decentralized solution? There are 4 options. Okay, which is not the quality of a decentralized solution architecture. A, there is no single owner. B, there is no single authority. C, there is no single truth. And D, there is no single administrator.
There is no single truth, I think, is C.
I think there is all of them. They are all qualities of decentralization, which is not
the quality of decentralization.
There is no single truth. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay. This is your answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
because you need a consensus.
Okay. Okay. We will discuss this thing one by one. After once I will come back on that for this part. Okay.
Okay.
Next question is, due to invention of distributed and decentralized solution, there is no longer a need for centralized solution. True or false?
This is true.
Okay.
See, this is actually, we can say false. Why? Because there is still need, because blockchain is not a solution for everything. For example,
yes,
if we have something which is, which is up and running and without any problem, so we cannot discontinue our existing system and replace it with the blockchain, right? So
okay,
although this blockchain will disrupt it, each and every technology, each and every solution, but this is nothing. We cannot say this will be it's ultimate solution. This blockchain is ultimate solution for each and everything. So so we say this is the false. Okay. One of the benefit of blockchain is that data can be always the same, always changing, editable, publicly verifiable.
It's point D, publicly verifiable.
What about others' opinion?
Editable is not true. You cannot edit.
You cannot edit, exactly.
So it's always the same. Always the blockchain data is changing, always changing.
Always changing.
Yes. Are you sure?
Because changing in the meaning that you can
the data cannot be changed.
Data cannot be changed.
Cannot be changed. Yeah.
But information can be always increasing.
Okay, it's dynamic.
Brother, in our last lecture, what we learned, definitely on the blockchain, the data always same. Okay, the data which you have it, I also have the same data available with me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But the next option is always changing. It's not true. It's not changing. So this is also not true. It's editable. We cannot edit. We cannot edit the data. The publicly verified. So one of the main benefit of blockchain is publicly verified. We can easily verify publicly. For example, if I have something, you can easily verify that I own something or not. I own any Bitcoin or not. You can easily verify that thing. So this is the real answer is the publicly verifiable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Blockchain is more secure than a traditional database because there is no single point of failure. The encryption code is more secure. Miners are not trustworthy. The data is always different.
There is no single point of failure, I think,
I
and
I
B,
think I think the encryption code is more secure.
Okay.
A and B.
This is false because there is no any third party involvement in blockchain solution. So we can easily make transaction from one point to another point actually. Okay.
Brother, I'm sorry, I have a question.
Yes, tell me.
I do think that miners are intermediaries or not.
No, miners are intermediaries, but they are only involving in making some uh, some what you called it. They are involving in proof of work algorithm. They are what you called it. They are involving in mining the process. They are creating the block. They are miners. They are helping you
Okay.
to create the blocks, to
They are
helping
not
you to
intermediaries
record
for
your
the transaction.
transaction within the block.
Mhm.
So they are involving in I forgot the one word. um, they are helping you
Creating.
to solve one computational to calculate one computational problem actually. So we will learn how they will creating a block. They will involve in computational things, and they will computing all the
Mm-hmm.
block power, and they will recognize one nonce. So they will involve in computational problem. So this miners are not intermediaries. They are just
Okay.
helping us to record our transaction in the block. That's it.
All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not the drawback of implementing a blockchain solution. A, lack of training resources and talent. B, scalabilities. C, it is a new and constantly changing technologies. D, transactional speed. E, cost. And F, none of the above.
Sincerely, I don't understand the question.
Which is not a drawback. Which is not a drawback of implementing blockchain solution. You can analyze which one is not drawback. Basically, all of them are drawback.
Hello?
Drawback.
All of them are drawback because there is lack of trained resources. There is very minimum trained resources available in term of blockchain. You agree on that?
Okay, yes.
Yes. Okay. So this is also drawback. Scalabilities. Scalability is big drawback in blockchain because if you will make any transaction, credit card transaction, in credit transaction, the transaction rate in 1 second is more than 100,000. But in blockchain, one transaction, 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
15 transaction or 10 transaction, 10 to 15 transaction in blockchain. You get my point?
Mhm.
Similar to, it is a new and constantly changing technologies because today there is some other thing available. For example, I'm talking about algorithm. There is proof of work algorithm, where you required heavy computational power, you required heavy resources. So there is still there people are working on it, how they can evolve this technology how they can reduce the time of computational power. So they, how they get rid of, you know, this minor problem, how they can get rid of proof of work algorithm. There may be some other proof of work algorithm they can introduce. So this is constantly changing technology. This is also big drawback. For example, today I am learning something. Maybe things will change. Tomorrow I will have something new to learn. You get my point. So there is constantly changing the things. As I said, T
Mm-hmm.
is transaction speed. Transaction speed is very low. You know, only 10 to
Yes,
15 transaction per
minutes.
second we have. And the cost, you know, the cost is also is a big drawback on this this thing. You know, you have to incur, you know, still there is big cost involvement in jump in this technology. So we can say none of the above, none of the above. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
What function does a blockchain perform that a database does not? First one is fully distributed, highly fault tolerance, no centralized authorities, low barrier to entry, global transaction capability, no double spending, and all of the above.
Of the above.
All of the above, exactly. All of the above, the blockchain can perform similar to a
Mm-hmm.
database. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All nodes have and share the dash copy of the ledger, original copy of the ledger, same exact copy of the ledger, or edited copy of the ledger.
The same exact.
Same
The
exact.
same
Same
original.
exact, same.
Same
Each and
exact.
every node have the same and exact copy of the
Exact copy of the
ledger which
ledger.
I have, you
Yeah.
have, you know, anyone else. Each nodes have the same exact copy of the ledger.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was our
Mm-hmm.
review of this thing what we have learned in last classes. So today we are going to learn type of blockchains. Okay. There are you know, we are at macro level we already learned there are different types of blockchain, you know, uh, which will be available in different part of the world, you know. So if we are talking about bitcoin have, you know, different type of blockchain. So we will learn with this class what type of blockchain we are having with bitcoin, and what other type of blockchain we can have it. Okay. So the first one is we have public and private blockchain. You know, per se, you know, blockchain platform are often described as being either public or private. Okay. what what do these term means? You know, for example, if we can say this is the public like blockchain and private blockchain. In public blockchain, it means, sorry, in public blockchain it means we can easily say who can read the data and who cannot read the data.
Mm-hmm.
You get my point? For
Yes.
example, if you're talking about the public and private blockchain, we can easily determine two things. Okay. Who can write data and who sorry, I was always confused read and write things. In public and private, there is differences between who can write data and
Who
who
can read?
can not write data. Is
Mm-hmm.
if we are talking about public and private, it is coming to return the things, you know. For example, if we take example of bitcoin, in bitcoin network, what do you think, this is public or private blockchain?
Bitcoin is private.
Is a public basically.
Public,
anyone
yes.
can anyone can write anyone can write. It's a public blockchain. You know, I'm repeating this thing. In public and private, we can determine who can write data to the blockchain. Public blockchains allow for large audience or the public itself to add data to the ledger.
Okay.
Bitcoin is
Okay.
a great example of blockchain public
Okay.
network. There are no rules or permission around who can trade Bitcoin. Anyone can buy, anyone can sell or send Bitcoin to anyone else. You understand? A
Okay.
blockchain solution
Yes.
used to track how charitable donation are used by a non-profit would be a great example of private blockchain. For example, if you wanted to create a private blockchain, you can easily control someone who can write and who can not write.
Okay.
There are some partial people who can easily write data, who cannot write data. For example, in our Ijara Soul, we have distinguished some people can update data, some people can add data, some people can review data. So this is the something, private we can consider as our Ijara Soul. Public we can consider as our Bitcoin network.
Okay.
Okay. So there is another type which we can say open versus closed. Open versus closed, whenever we say open versus closed, it means who can read data from the blockchain. Blockchain allow large audience or the public itself to consume all the data or the ledger data. Closed blockchain attempts to restrict read access. So we
Mhm.
will discuss different application, how we determine who is the open and who is the closed. If we discuss about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is open, it's not closed. Anyone can go and read the data, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Push.
Public
Need.
and open.
Okay. There is another type of this blockchain, permission versus permissionless. Permissioned means you are giving permission to someone to access your blockchain.
To
Permissionless,
access what?
permissioned means you are giving access to someone to access your blockchain.
Okay.
Permissionless means openly for everyone.
Mhm.
Permissioned versus permissionless platform or solution, which are open and public, have little need for permissioning or role-based access, such as platform are described as permissionless uh, a platform because they do not have a native ability to track and manage identity and subsequently define and enforce permissions based on that identity. This does not mean that you cannot build a permission solution on a permission platform. It simply means if you choose to do so, you are responsible for designing and implementing a method to track and manage identity and draw permissions against that identity. So means in permission blockchain, you can you it this is control is in your hand. You can allow someone to access in that blockchain, and in permissionless, it's everything is open. Anyone can enter, anyone can do anything. Okay. So these three
Yeah.
classification we can easily describe. These three type of blockchain are available in the world, and within these three type of blockchain we can determine our application, whether they are public or private, they are open or closed, they are permissioned or permissionless. Okay, brother?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It can sometimes be helpful to have a visual model when you planning your blockchain solution. For example, right now you need to visualize things, how we can visually determine which one is open closed, private, or public. Okay, let us see. If we are talking about public versus open, it means anyone can write data or anyone can read data. Public versus open. Okay,
Yes.
anyone can write data, anyone can read data. There is another
Okay.
thing, public versus closed. Anyone
Anyone can write.
can
Only
write
few can
data,
read. Yeah.
only a few can read data.
Mhm.
See, public versus open, anyone can write data, anyone can read data. Public versus closed, anyone can read data, can write data, but few can read data. Private versus open, only a few can write data, many can read data.
Okay.
Okay, so these classification we will discuss one by one through some application example in our next slide. There is another one is private, public versus closed. Only a few can write and only a few can
Only
read.
few can.
We can make big restriction on it. You know, this is public, private, and closed. So this is the, you know, graphical metrics which we have, we can see easily. So there are, you know, you see this is private, close. In private and close, there are, you know, you can easily determine which one you can write and data, which one you can restrict control on it. For example, this is public and close. In public and close, for example, let us discuss application one by one. Public means if we can take example of voting. Okay, in voting, publicly you can write, you can give the vote, but it's
But you
closed,
cannot read.
you cannot read it. Okay, you can easily write, record, but you cannot read the record. Okay, similar to this one, public and open, we have currencies, we have betting, we have voting, video games, which is open for public and open for read and write each and everything. Okay, similar to this, we can see private and closed, private and open. Private and open, we can take example of supply chain system. Supply chain system is privately managed. There is restricted to write data, but it's openly readable to everyone. Similar to government and financial record, it's restricted to write data on it, but it's openly available for everyone, right? Corporate earning statements is private. No one can add data, but openly available for everyone. Similar to private and public, for example, this is construction data, is privately and close available. National defense is very high sensitive data, is private and closed, is not openly available for public. Law enforcement agencies data, military data, and tax return data. So this kind of, you know, application is available, which we can easily determine which one is public and which one is closed. Okay, so let us go back over here. So you can, you know, fill all this thing, which is public and closed. You can specify your industry, where your industry is gonna fall. If you are going to implement uh, any application for leasing company, for example, Albania leasing company, where this application is gonna fall, is gonna fall basically in private and closed. You're not
Yes,
allow
private and
anyone to
closed.
write data. You're not allow anyone to read your
To
data,
read.
right? For
Yes.
example, if you are going to launch your currency, for example, Albania Leasing is going to launch one currency, which is Albanian lakh ether, something like that. So, how you launch? You wanted to launch. Anyone can read data. Anyone can write data. So
Public and
it will be
open.
launched as public and open, right?
Yes.
So you can easily you know, determine this thing. And if you wanted to launch some application which is available for private and which is available for everyone, but you wanted to restrict access to this, so you can say
Public and
this will be
closed.
private and open actually.
But open, private,
Yes.
private and open, yes. Did you
And if
know?
you wanted to announce launch any application which will be available for public, public can read it, but
Yeah.
the public can write it, but you cannot they cannot read it. So you can say this is public and closed application. This is voting system is great example for that. Okay, so this is the private type of a blockchain application which we have to which we wanted to discuss. So if there is anything, any question and any use case, if you wanted to discuss, then we can discuss it. Otherwise, this is end of today's section. So if you wanted to discuss anything related to Bitcoin, related to anything, I'm open to answer for you.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, so
Thank you very much.
yes, so this is